So my name's Dr. Edmund Farrar. Some of you will have seen me before. Thank you for joining again if this isn't your first webinar. If this is your first webinar, we're going to spend half an hour, 45 minutes this evening talking about how you can get the most out of the Otto app and how you can use it to tune out tinnitus. Okay, so a bit of background about me. As I said, I trained as a doctor. I spent 5-6 years in the military, and I developed tinnitus whilst I was in the military about three and a half years ago. And thankfully for me, I was lucky. It wasn't too severe, but it still stopped me from sleeping. I struggled with sleep. And it wasn't until I saw people in the military, from my patients, I realized how unpleasant it could be. I realized that I needed to do something about it. And that's why I founded Otto. So before I go into the app, I'm just going to explain to you guys how it works. So what's probably, if I just kind of ask you guys to think back to how it felt when you first noticed your tinnitus, what was the emotion you felt? How did it make you feel? I imagine it probably made you feel pretty uncomfortable. Most people feel anxious, fear, hopelessness. You think, oh God, I can't cope with this for the rest of, the rest of the day. How am I going to cope with it the rest of my life? And what that means is that because your brain sees your tinnitus as something bad, it sees it as a threat. Okay. And because your brain sees it as a threat, something bad, it needs to check to see whether it's there all the time. And in checking to see whether it's there all the time, you notice it. And then when you notice it, it makes you feel bad. It reinforces that the brain sees it as a threat. So the brain keeps looking for it, and it means you notice it. And I'm sure many of you here will have been in one of these cycles where you just can't stop thinking about your tinnitus, and it just makes you feel really horrible. That's what happens. And even though the negative emotional response might change, so you might feel less worried, you might feel less scared, it might now feel like frustration or anger. So it's still reinforcing to your brain that it's something negative. So what we need to do is we need to change this. We need to change this reaction your brain is having. And if we change this reaction your brain is having, perhaps even reduce it, get rid of it, your brain is going to stop thinking it's a threat. And if your brain no longer thinks it's a threat, it no longer needs to keep looking for it, which means you stop noticing it. So the end result of what we're going to do here, by changing your emotional response, by changing how you feel about your tinnitus, we're going to stop you from noticing it. And if you do notice it, it won't bother you, won't make you feel bad. And the end result is you've tuned it out. Your tinnitus is in the background. You've got your life back. You're no longer thinking about it all the time. It's just there. And that's what happened with me. So if I kind of close my ears off, I can still hear my tinnitus. It's still there. And I actually still hear it when I'm in a quiet room. But the key thing is it doesn't bother me. If I do hear it, I don't keep thinking about it. I think of something else. So what I'm going to show you now is how the Otto app can change your brain's reaction, can help you train your brain to react differently to the tinnitus. Okay. If anyone has any questions about what I'm saying, please do use the Q&A feature. There's a button with a Q&A on. You can write a question in there, and I'll be able to answer it. Okay. So it's proven that the best way to get to that point where you've changed your brain's reaction, you're no longer noticing it, is with something called cognitive behavioral therapy. And cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, as we call it, is what we've packaged into the Otto program. So there's a 6-week program in the Otto app that combines primarily CBT, but some other techniques as well, to teach your brain to change how it's reacting. And I'm just going to take you through that now. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, just give me a second whilst this starts sharing, and you should be able to see this soon. Okay, great. So let's just go on to. So the first thing that you'll do when you go onto the app is you'll be asked to select a sound. Now we'll go on to talk about the sounds in a minute. We've got over 100 sounds in the app that we've specially recorded to help with tinnitus. But the reason we ask you to choose it now is to choose a background sound that you can use whilst you're going through the setup, and also that we'll have on in the background. So whenever you open the app, there's a nice relaxing sound to help you get yourself in the state of calm that's required to do these exercises. So just pick one of these. It doesn't matter if you pick something and you want to change it. Very possible to do. So we then go through and answer. We'll ask you some questions, and the reason we do this is because we want to understand how your tinnitus is impacting your life, so we know what areas to focus on. So call me Ed, and then these questions will be understanding to begin with. I'm just going to do it for me. How does your tinnitus make you feel? What's the emotion that makes you feel? And the reason we ask that is because we need to be able to change that emotion. So let's just go through these. So you'll see we're asking questions about worry, how your tinnitus makes you feel. And we do that so we can change that feeling. And if we change that feeling, you'll stop noticing it. The impact on sleep. So I actually do use sounds to get to sleep. I never use medication. Again, we're looking at what the questions are asking. I'm going through these quickly, by the way. Don't worry too much about these questions. They're just all about the impact your tinnitus has on your life. My tinnitus stops me from concentrating sometimes. Feel control of my tinnitus, really. So now what happens is the app's calculated something called the habituation stage. So this process I'm talking about, the process of changing your reaction, is something called habituation. So I'm sure many of you will have heard of this word, habituation. Those of you that have been using the app for a while now will be familiar with habituation. Now, if I kind of fast forward to the end goal here, so when you are habituated, you don't react badly to your tinnitus and you don't notice it. It doesn't have an impact on your life. I am habituated. But what we've done is we've kind of set this progress, or split this progress into stages. So stage 1 is you're very new to tinnitus and it's still very intrusive. It still makes you feel really bad. Stage 2, you're getting there. Made a bit of progress, but it's still making you feel bad. For me, stage 3, things are more in control and I'm nearly habituated, but it still stops me from sleeping, for example, or it still interrupts my focus. So as we say here, habituation to tinnitus occurs when your brain stops listening to the sound. You forget it's there. You might be thinking now, well, I don't believe that's possible. Well, your brain's actually done this thousands of times in your life already. I'll ask you a slightly weird question. When was the last time you noticed your nose out of the corner of your vision? If you've got a big nose like me, still, like, you know, I look at it, takes up quite a lot of my vision, but I don't notice it. My brain doesn't pick it up. It's tuned it out. Imagine if we could do that with your tinnitus, and that's what we are going to do. So this is an explanation of the habituation stages. I'll let you look through these. I kind of already explained them. So now this is an important part. We choose what aspects of your life do you want help with. So for me, it was sleep. And you know, you can always go back and change these, so don't worry too much about this. Okay, so now it will put you onto the home screen. Now, first, I'm going to talk about the program that you work through. Secondly, I'm going to talk about and how to use the program. Secondly, I'm going to talk about the sounds and how to use the sounds. And then I'm going to talk about some features that you might not have noticed that could be helpful for you. And then we'll kind of go over a quick review. And if you guys have got any questions, I can take you through those. So first, how does the program work? Well, it's really simple. You can see here, it says start here. So you just tap start your program, and it's so simple for you. It will give you the first session and the session that you need to listen to. You can see the second one's here. I've already listened to that second session, but these will all be unticked. And when you've listened to the session will become ticked. So we've split this program into a number of days. And of course, we encourage you to do the sessions provided each day. So on day one, you can see we've got these 3 sessions here. On day 2, there's a longer session we recommend you do. On day 3, there's some exercises and a bit of learning about how sounds can work in tinnitus. So you don't have to think about this. Just do these sessions per day. Just do the sessions that it tells you to do each day. You know, we've made it we want it to be as simple as possible for you. So you just tap, start here.
Welcome to Otto. I'm Lily, and I'll be guiding you through a variety of techniques that have been
So I'm not going to go through that in too much detail. I'll leave that for you. But you'll notice
designed by tinnitus experts. Each technique will help you to habituate.
You'll notice Lily's got a really, really calming, relaxing voice. And one of the things that we get a lot of good feedback on is that how calming and relaxing Lily's voice is. So let me just explain what the buttons on this screen do. So captions, if you're hard of hearing, you can have captions on.
This means that we'll teach your brain how to filter.
Now, if you want to change the volume of the background sound, you can do that here. I've actually got the background sound paused at the moment. But if you have quite loud tinnitus, it's nice to have that background sound so you're not listening to the tinnitus all the time. If you go through, and I'll come on to this in a bit, but if you go through a session and you find it really useful, tap this little heart in the top right-hand corner. And that's going to save that session onto your home screen on favorites. So you can click here on favorites, and it will take you to the sessions that you've favorited. So how to use this? So I recommend to do the sessions per day, the sessions that it recommends each day. What's really, really important, guys, is that, well, there's 2 things actually. Firstly, this isn't a podcast. This isn't something to have on in the background. You need to really, really concentrate and focus on what Lily's telling you and engage with the session. It won't work if you just have it on and listen to it, but don't engage. That's the first thing. The second thing is I would really recommend trying to do this at least once a day. Block out time in your day where you can make time to practice these skills and techniques. So that could be, you know, first thing you do when you get up, or you go to bed to calm you down at some point in the morning. Just find the time to do this. This is something that, you know, you will get results. It will work, but it takes time and practice. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And, you know, it will take you a bit of time to get there, but that's fine. It's kind of like meditation, you know, it's something that takes a bit of time to learn, but you will start to notice results, you know, in a matter of weeks, if you do practice this regularly, and you'll probably start to feel better pretty quickly, actually. So same time each day, build it into your daily routine, build a habit, work your way through the days as it tells you to. So each day it will tell you what to go on. And if you want to skip back to a day that you've done before or a previous session that you've done, you can click this recent button next to favorites, and it will give you the session. You can see I've done these sessions already today. So this is where it will come up with the recent sessions. Okay, so I can see there's no questions so far. That's great, guys. If you do have any questions, just pop it in the chat. I'm very happy to talk you through this and answer any questions you might have about that. So that's the program, the daily program. Once you've worked your way through the program, you should have a list of sessions that you found beneficial in favorites, because if you find something useful, favorite it. Once you finish the program, and if you do one per day, it will take you about a month. Most people, it takes around 6 weeks because they don't get around to doing it every day. Once you finish the program, I would recommend that you either go back to start again and just to really consolidate the things that you've learned, or go back to the exercises that you found really beneficial in favorites and practice these at the same time each day. You want, there's a question, thank you for asking that question. I will answer that in a second. You want these skills and techniques that we're teaching you to really become second nature in your brain, so that, for example, if you notice your tinnitus, it's an automatic process of what happens. And the way to do that is just by practicing really, really regularly. And particularly if you find the things that work for you, practice them regularly, incorporate them into your daily life, and you will get results. You know, it's something that we see. The people that do the best are the people that understand that this is something that needs to be practiced regularly. Okay. So, question, will recents give me all the past sessions? I'm about halfway through and want to go again from the start. So if you want to find all past sessions, the best way to do that is to click Start Program, scroll down, and you'll see here that there are 5 what we call modules under the habituation program. So let me just show you how to get to that again. So from the home screen, tap Start Program, scroll down, and you'll see here there's 5 modules that you can work through, and that will be where you find all these sessions. So, example progress here, you can see all the days of the progress sessions. So it's really simple. Just tap there, and you'll find the answer. So, sounds. Oh, in fact, before we go on sounds, let's talk about explore. So let's say you're having a bad day. You're someone that struggles with sleep, like me, with your tinnitus, and you've had a really stressful day, and you just want some help getting to sleep. We've built something in the app that will help with that. And this is if you see at the bottom here, there's these 3 buttons: Home, Explore, Sounds. If you tap on the Explore tab, and you'll see these 4 buttons at the top. If you want help with focus, let's say you're struggling to focus at work, you can tap in here and it will give you a load of helpful tools that you can use to refocus your mind away from the tinnitus and back onto what you're doing. Let's say the example I gave about the sleep. Let's say you're struggling to sleep. So there's loads of exercises and sounds that we've included in here that we've put in this section that will help you get to sleep quickly. And this is a whole host of different techniques we use. So we use sleep stories. So there's some very long, relaxing stories in here. We've deliberately designed these to be as relaxing and calming as possible. They always put me to sleep. There's some mindfulness exercises, some stretches, for example, and some guidance on how to get better prepared for sleep. And you can use this either before you go to sleep or if you wake up in the middle of the night as well. There's some really good stuff here. And the aim is for you to be able to practice these things and do these things on your own without needing the app. So if you're struggling with sleep, you can just go back to one of these things that you found helpful, and you won't need to open the app. It'll be second nature to you. And that's the point when you really start noticing that you can manage your tinnitus on your own, and your tinnitus is actually having less of an impact on your life. Okay, let me know if you've got any questions on the Explore tab, guys. I'm going to go on to sounds. So, sounds. We get so many questions about how to use sounds in tinnitus. What sounds should I listen to? How long should I listen to sounds for? What are the best sounds to listen to for my type of tinnitus? Guys, I'm going to let you in with a secret. It's entirely down to you. There is very little evidence to show that sound therapy or listening to sounds in the long term will reduce the volume of tinnitus. Now, that's not to say that sounds aren't beneficial, and I'm sure many of you find sounds helpful. I find sounds helpful, but they should be used as a distraction tool and a tool to help you relax, not something that you listen to for 5-6 hours a day to try to change the volume or the loudness of your tinnitus, because unfortunately, there's not really much evidence to show that will work. Question here, does a sleep program end at a certain amount of time and keep running all night? Great question. So let's say you want to put a sleep story on. So you can go on one of these. I don't have premium on here, but let me show you what happens. So you can see here in the bottom right hand, it says 27 minutes, 9 minutes, 17 minutes. And that's basically the length of the session. So if it takes you normally 20 minutes to get to sleep, then you can pick one of the longer ones. We've got ones at 40 minutes here. If it doesn't take you too long to get to sleep, or you just want some quick relaxation, you can pick one of the shorter ones. So that's how long the sleep sessions last for, and it will tell you on the card here. Now, let's say you want to use a sound to get to sleep. So I can pick one of these sounds here. So I tap on that. And it's now coming up. So I tap this button here to bring up the sound that's currently playing. I'm just going to pause it so you can hear me. And what you can do is you can set a timer. So currently 2025, let's say I want to set a timer in an hour's time. You can set a timer and it will automatically turn that sound off at that time. Okay, so just refresh that again. So you can find some sleep sounds here. Let's say you want the ocean sound. Like that, tap this button. Then you can set a timer. Okay, back to sounds. So yes, don't worry too much about listening to sounds for a certain period of time. Just find the sounds that you find the most relaxing. Experiment with these. Try lots of different sounds. Find the sound that for you masks your tinnitus the best. In terms of the volume to play the sound at, you want to play it kind of just at the same level as your tinnitus. But again, it's not something I'd worry too much about. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference to habituation anyway. So we've got kind of over 100 sounds here that you can explore, lots of different categories. And there's some really cool stuff here. So if you go to, for example, the layered sounds, these are where we've combined different sounds. And we've combined different aspects of different sounds, and you can, our sound engineers basically created a 3D experience for you. So you can go on here, and it's pretty cool actually, and it's a nice distraction from your tinnitus. Is it possible to mix sounds, play them simultaneously, for example, thunderstorm and rain together? Not yet. It's something we're working on. We get a lot of feedback about this. We want to be able to combine sounds. So yes, we will do that. But thanks for the feedback. We'll definitely launch that. So yeah, work your way through the categories, you work your way through the sounds, find something that works for you, and then when you found something that you really like, you can just click on it. See it will come up at the bottom here. Move this up, see the active sound that's playing. Press pause or press play, and you can favorite it. And just like before, your favorites will be in the top left here. So go over to sounds, favorites will be in the top left, and it will show you the sounds that you like the most, you find the most beneficial. If you want to remove that, Tap on it. Bring it up here and unheart that there. So yeah, we've got, and as I said before, I'd encourage you to go through these sounds and experiment with them, because there's lots and lots of sounds we've specially recorded specifically to help people manage tinnitus. So you know, this isn't just a a sounds app. These sounds are designed to help people like you with tinnitus. Okay, so some more features that some more things you might not realize are in the app that I'd like to make you aware of. The first is this button in the top right here, this little chat button. Okay. Now, if you tap on that, you'll get this screen here. You can send us a message or a question directly by tapping this button. So if you just tap send a message, help me with sounds. Also, so you can ask us for a question. You can ask us a question that you might have about your tinnitus. You can ask us about habituation. You can ask us about something about how to use the app. This is the best place to come for help, and we'll get back to you on the same day normally, depending on the time zones. But you know, if you've got any questions about your tinnitus, part of the subscription includes help from us. So you know, do make the most of this. We're here to help. Please do send us any questions. It's what we're here for, and it's how you'll get the most out of it. I know that a lot of you will have sometimes, you know, questions pop up about how to manage tinnitus, how the app works, and a lot of people don't realize that you can just tap this top right hand button here. Oh, sorry, it's screen shares, lost the screen share. Give me a second. So you can tap that chat button, and you'll be able to send us a message directly. Okay. So where were we? Okay, so that's the first feature I wanted to talk about in the app. Sorry, the first kind of a feature that you might not be aware of that I wanted to talk about. Now, the second thing that I wanted to talk about was this button here, book your consultation. So as part of the premium subscription, it includes a consultation with one of our team. So we're a team of tinnitus experts. Many of us have tinnitus ourselves, and we're here to help you navigate the route to tinnitus habituation. So if you wanted a bit more help and you wanted to speak to one of us and ask about how you can get to habituation, how you can get the most out of the app, what you can do to speed the process up, then you can book a consultation with a member of our team directly in the app. So you just tap this here, and you just click continue, book now, and it will take you to a link. And you can just pick a day that works, and we'll have lots of times available on most days actually. So please make the most of that, because you know, as I said, we're here to help. So if you do want a consultation with one of our team, please do book in. And the final thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, the reason you guys are here is of course the webinar. You can see a list of all our webinars in this upcoming events here. So we've got loads of webinars on for you guys, with some really exciting special guests actually. So just this Thursday, we've got a webinar with my colleague, Dr Jamil Mazaffer, who is a very, very experienced ENT surgeon, tinnitus specialist, and we're going to be debunking tinnitus myths. But you'll see we've got lots of webinars coming up that I'm sure will be something useful for you on a number of different topics. So a couple of questions here. Are the consultation time dates in my time zone or yours? They should be in your time zone. But if we go back to it, it should tell you. So here at the bottom, it says time zone, and you can actually change that. It should automatically go to your time zone, but if you double check there, you can search for your time zone and it will put it in there. Okay. If you can't make the June 15 workshop, will it be recorded for later viewing? Yes, we record all of our webinars, and if you can't make it, just register anyway, and we'll send you a link afterwards. So our system will be able to pick up you haven't been able to make it, and we can send you a video recording for that webinar. Great. So that's the app in a nutshell. It really is. We've designed this to kind of hold your hand as much as possible. And as I said before, this is we've created this and we've designed this to be the fastest way you can use to tune out tinnitus. And if you do practice regularly and you do work through these skills and techniques, I'm really confident we can help. So for that reason, I've got a really exciting offer for you guys this evening. For those of you that aren't premium subscribers to the app, so just let me clarify what you get as a premium subscriber. So if you're a free user, you get first 6 days of the course completely free. If you do those 6 days and you find this is something that actually might be beneficial, we offer full app access. And I'm really excited to share this special offer with you guys this evening. That's been put together by our team to include everything you need really to get to the point of habituation. So we've called it the fast track habituation package, and that does what it says on the tin. It will get you to habituation so much faster than you would do if you'd get it on your own. Includes a 6-week CBT program. That's the program I talked about in the app. You get 24/7 support from our team. So we're a team of some of the world-leading tinnitus experts. We only work with the best tinnitus specialists here in the UK. So you'll be getting answers from the best. It includes 3 months full access to the app. So all the premium features in the app you'd get access to. And then it includes a consultation with a tinnitus expert. So you can book a call with one of us and we can get you set up and make sure you're getting the most out of the app and how it works. We'll also be able to give you some personalized advice to your situation. So yeah, this is a really great offer, guys. It would normally cost kind of over $100 for all this stuff together. So I'm really excited to share with you guys. If anyone is interested in signing up, I'm going to send you an email straight after this webinar finishes with a link that you can click on and you can get started straight away. This costs £29 if you're in the UK, $39 if you're in the US, which for all this is really good value. Great. Do I have any further questions from anyone? Has anyone got anything else that they want me to talk through related to the app, related to tinnitus in general? Great. Well, as I said, thank you very much for joining this evening or this morning from wherever you are. I hope you found that useful. I just want to emphasize, guys, if you do have any questions, if you do have anything you're struggling with, please do send us a message, be able to help. We're here, we're here to help. The reason I founded this company is because I have tinnitus myself. I know what you're going through. So, just let us know. We're happy to help. Donna, the package is, I just want to separate out, we also have a one-to-one coaching package. That includes, that's not a consultation, that includes a coaching session with one of our expert coaches. So this consultation would be with a member of our team, one of us. So that'd be with either me or my colleague Lily or my colleague Cameron. The one-to-one coaching package is a little different. That's kind of 45-minute coaching sessions, really digging down into the things that you're struggling with tinnitus. This is just more of a general consultation, getting set up with the app, that kind of thing. Great. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you found that helpful and looking forward to seeing you all on Thursday.